Hey guys, in today's video I am very excited to check out a Zeiss lens. This is the second Zeiss that I've ever reviewed on this channel. The first one I wasn't too crazy fond of, the Zeiss 16-70. It was a decent lens, but I think it was way too expensive for the moderate performance boost over the kit lens. But I'm much more excited about this Zeiss 24 f1.8, which is a lens that many of you have requested that I take a look at, and I haven't for a long time because it's super expensive. But I found this used one in excellent condition for a little bit less, so let's check it out. So this is a used lens. This is the box that it comes in, 24mm f1.8. There's a nice outline of the lens here on the front. It's a nice box from Sony. There's no security seal on it, so it's pretty unfortunate. Let's see, lens hood is included, lens case is included, and circular aperture, 49mm filter thread. And this is the pouch that the lens comes in. And the first impression, just picking it up, is it's very lightweight. It does not weigh a whole lot. Here it is. So very compact, smaller than I expected. Here is the lens hood. It is all plastic, no lining on the inside. 1.8 24mm Sony. Serial number there. Minimum focusing distances are 0.16 of a meter, half a foot. There is the Zeiss logo, E-mount, and that's about it. Around the front, Carl Zeiss Sonnar E 1.8 24ZA T-star, and then the serial number, 49mm filter thread. This reminds me a little bit of the Sony 35, just the shape of that front lens element. It looks almost flat. And around the back you have electronic connections. So definitely very excited to mount this on my camera and see what sort of images I will be getting with this thing. Very compact. Let's see, focus ring is super duper smooth. So here is the lens mounted on my a6000, and you can see that it is a perfect fit. And I mean that in the sense that the colors match, the size looks great. Everything on this lens looks excellent. On this side you have the blue Zeiss logo, which is very cool to show off to all of your photography friends. Well built, feels like a very expensive piece of glass, which it is. So definitely excited to go out and shoot with this thing and see how it performs. So now let's go ahead and take a look at some sample photos and videos using this lens on my a6500. So that is it for the sample photos and videos. Overall, I enjoy using this lens quite a bit. It's very easy to use. Autofocus is instant, it's silent. The image looks very sharp corner to corner. In fact, I went and shot a couple of photos side by side between this Zeiss and the 18-135 at 24 millimeters. And as you can see, the Zeiss is noticeably sharper in the corners, even stopped down as much as this picture is. I even took my Sony 35mm and decided, hey, let's take another shot with a 35 and compare that. And surprisingly, this Zeiss is about as sharp, if not slightly sharper than the Sony 35. I'll have to test this further in the future, but overall I was very impressed with the image quality. Here's another shot of the Zeiss with the 18-135. Again, you could see edge to edge, corner to corner, the Zeiss looks better. The other thing that I noticed about this lens is that the colors are really nice straight out of the camera. You expect that with the Zeiss name, but I was impressed to see that the sample photos and videos, I didn't do any color correction or any editing besides just splicing. And it was pretty impressive what you get. Now, another cool thing about this lens is what happens when you have flaring. So here is what happens with the Sony 35mm when you're shooting up towards the sun. Here is what happens with the 18-135. Here is what happens with this Zeiss 24. So you could see how it renders the sunlight and the rays especially. Overall, there's very little to complain about with this lens. It's relatively lightweight, it's easy to carry around with you, it focuses very quickly. It's sharp corner to corner. It seems to be very, very sharp. I wish it was less expensive. Knew these things are about $1,000, which is a whole lot of money for just a prime lens. It's a great prime lens though. 24 millimeters is very usable. It's a good walk around lens, good for street photography. It's almost wide enough for some landscape shots. The thing that you give up a little bit over the Sony 35, I noticed, is the creaminess in the background, the bokeh. So here's an example of the 24mm next to the Sony 35, and you can see how much more bokeh there is with the Sony 35. Anyway, I will be doing a full-on comparison between this lens and a couple of others. Actually, let me know down in the comments what you guys would like me to compare this to. For sure, I will be comparing it to the Rokinon 21mm that I haven't talked about in a long time because I'm curious for my own sake. But I'm very excited to have this lens and play around with it over the coming weeks. That is it for my overview of this lens. Let me know if you guys have any questions about it. As always, thank you guys for watching. Thanks for all of the likes, comments, and support. And I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.